Hello everybody, welcome to the Rational Webcast for the 23rd of November 2015. I'm Nick, and I started off strong there and failed, but as with me as always is Marty. Hello Marty.
Hello there Nick, and hello internet people. Welcome to the Rational Webcast, where we talk about gaming shit.
And Nick stumbles over his words constantly.
Yay! Wouldn't be the same if he didn't.
Yeah. Today we're talking about IGN not understanding anything and being general douchebags. PS2 emulation for the PS4. Woo! Dark Souls 3 possibly being the last Dark Souls game. Steam not flashing this year. And Issac Afterbirth not exactly doing so well on the WiiU and portable consoles. So, how's your week been, Marty?
Well, I got barely any sleep, and there is snow all over the place at this end of the world. How about yourself?
I got barely any sleep, and there was no snow, so...
So you are winning. Yesterday, my brother-in-law almost crashed. My wife skidded. Luckily, there was nothing anywhere near her, and my father-in-law did crash. So,
wow.
In a 6-hour, well, no, more like 7 hours, I suppose, period, that family did not have much luck when it came to cars. But it's all because there's ice, and people don't know how to drive in the ice.
That's some shocking statistics.
Yeah, pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Extrapolate that to general public. That means like 9 out of 10 people probably crashed or nearly crashed.
The other 1 out of 10 just didn't drive.
Or can't, like myself.
There we go.
I can drive.
What?
I just haven't got a license.
I know, Nick. I know.
I fail at life. Anyway, IGN are being idiots. So, brief us on this story, Marty.
Yeah, so first of all, what's new? IGN is not a place where gaming journalists go, it's a place where people go and talk about games sometimes. So basically, they were having a chat on one of their videos, and they were talking about the fact that all of their PC friends were really jealous of them because they were unable to record the gameplay like the Xbox can.
PC people are never jealous of anyone.
Yes, we all know your master race, blah blah blah. But I'm absolutely astounded that these people who are gaming journalists, these people that make a decent living out of talking about games, are just so blissfully ignorant as to the pros and cons of their consoles. I mean, I don't game as much as they do. I can say that as an absolute fact, just purely based upon my time that's spent doing work and looking after a child. So to get to the point where you're literally making a decent living out of playing games, and you still don't understand the different platforms and their positives and negatives, is just absolutely astounding. And I think that they should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. Which, I mean, they are, because they deleted the video, because they're idiots.
I think it's less that they're just not up to date with all of this stuff, and they don't understand it. It's just they don't really want to understand the PC centric audience. They don't want to engage with that because, most of their viewers are console gamers, and they don't need to know about the PC crap, which is kind of unprofessional, but that's just the way it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind if they were just unaware, but the fact that they went out of their way to criticise PCs and to say that all of their PC friends are so jealous that the Xbox is able to record gameplay.
Yeah, that's just kind of that's kind of douchey because, like I say, we're not jealous. We've been able to do that shit for years. I mean, yeah, maybe they can just go, okay, I've played a game, Xbox or PlayStation, save what I just did, but oh wait, we can do the same. If you've got an Nvidia card, we have something called Shadow Play. If you've got a capture card, one of the fancy capture cards, you get a little button that you can press, and boom, press, starts recording instantly.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ridiculous. And when you consider as well that the PCs have now been updated to Windows 10, something that the Xbox is going to get shortly, and as a part of that update, it's built in that Windows records gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's a PC being made more like the console. But for some reason, they're still not aware of the fact that PCs are being made more like the console. In fact, that's just dim.
It's quite funny that Microsoft understand the PC side of Microsoft understand gamers better than a gaming magazine do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing the degree of ignorance that they are displaying at that point. And I genuinely struggle to see how these people are able to make money out of this.
I don't know, but the fact is they do, and they like I say, their main audience is console gamers. So I think they were probably hoping that nobody would notice. But as it is, we did, because we see all.
Yeah, because we have PCs and stuff.
Yeah, you see the link I just sent you?
Yes, I most certainly did. I had actually seen that before. Yeah, Glorious PC Master Race t-shirt.
Yeah, I want it. Glorious PC Master Race. May your frame rates be high and temperatures low. With Yahtzee Groshaw's little avatar of a PC gaming Master Race person. That's fucking awesome.
I always find it worrying that he has cleavage.
That's peck cleavage.
Oh, peck cleavage. Is that a thing now?
Have you seen... hang on. Phil, while I look for this.
What? Okay. I mean, I assume that you're looking for gay porn and you're going to try and send me a link to that again.
That's what my fiance thought it was.
Whoa. Yeah, the other amazing thing was that this... I can't remember what it was called now. Oh yeah, when IGN were talking about these games, that they were specifically talking about Counter-Strike. I mean, how did that... And Xbox One isn't on... Xbox One doesn't have Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
The only thing that has Counter-Strike at the moment that is capable of recording in this manner is PC. I mean, yes, it did also come out on the Xbox 360, but that doesn't have recording. So, what are they... How do they make this mistake? I don't...
Ignorance.
It's...
Ignorance and non-journalist, committalist kind of... They're not good journalists.
Yeah, I think it's quite simply that they don't care, which is astounding.
Now look at this other link I've just sent you.
Yes, we have a we have the PC Gaming Master Race on the right-hand side, standing on top of lots of glowy PCs, headed by Gaben, with a glowing hand. I'm not sure what the glowing hand's about. There seems to be a wreckage of games consoles in the background, and lots of darkened avatars of people in the foreground, which are clambering to be up with the PC gamers.
Yeah. You mentioned we all look like Supermen with glowing eyes and long, wistful hair, and I actually had this image as my desktop for quite a while.
Did you notice that you said we when you were referring to those people? We look like.
Well, yeah.
You really do just identify with this whole Master Race malarkey, don't you?
I'm sorry, I like PCs.
Okay, Nick. Very good.
I had this picture as my desktop for a little while, and then my fiance walked in and went, "What the shit is that?"
It is very weird.
And maybe change it.
Yeah, so I think enough of that, maybe?
Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay.
Moving on.
So
to something good. So something actually half decent. PS2 emulation on the PS4. So Sony promised on the PS3 for the longest time and never did.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's come to PS4. But now, what's the use in that? Because it can't do PS3 games.
Yeah, which is something that they're trying to kind of remedy with the whole PlayStation Now thing. So people are able to play PlayStation 3 games on the console if they want to.
That's fantastic.
It's just that they have to pay a random amount of money in order to do so. Unlike those on the Xbox One, which are able to just put a disc in.
Yeah, those are like the downloads, aren't they?
Mm.
So it's different to actually having the game and being able to put your disc in that you own and being able to do it that way.
Oh, sorry, no. If you're referring to the PlayStation Now thing, then it's actually all streaming. You don't even download it.
Oh well, that's even worse.
Yeah. There's absolutely zero ownership going on at all.
Yeah.
Whereas the interesting way that the Xbox One does it is that you put a disc in, and that effectively unlocks a download. They then download a version of the game for the Xbox 360 game. You're then able to play that on your Xbox One, providing you have the Xbox 360 disc inserted.
See, that is actually a better way of doing it. I mean, if you're having trouble emulating the game on the console itself, then just like that, just prove a way that you'll basically, yes, I own this game, let me play it, and they let you play it.
It's a really clever way of going around it,
and you know, the Xbox One has got a lot of shit, but that's actually a good way of doing it. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, they've made some effort there, and they've come up with something that, to be fair, is a definite positive over the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to Microsoft there. I don't normally give them much kudos, but it's a really good, really effective, positive, no negative.
Take note, Sony. This is how you do it.
Yeah, but I can understand why they're not trying to emulate the PlayStation 3 on the PlayStation 4. Because the PlayStation 3 is just a nightmare console.
Well, yeah, but like I say, they could implement something like Xbox has, and that would solve the problem.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I mean, the problem is that the games are made for the PlayStation 3 architecture, and the PlayStation 3's architecture is just
but
scary.
If you can put like PlayStation 3 games on like PlayStation Now and stuff for download, then just do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean they could. I mean they couldn't do it for download because the way that PlayStation Now works is they've effectively just got a load of PlayStation 3s sitting somewhere, and you play it on there, but then stream it through.
Well, yeah, I don't like the idea of them streaming it through, but that's still better than nothing. So long as you're able to play the game. Surely they can find some way to allow you to play the game.
Yeah, which they do with PlayStation Now, as long as you're willing to pay.
But that's my point. You shouldn't have to pay if you already own the game.
Yes. Yeah, but you. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying. The problem is that in order to allow people to play those games, it would cost Sony a lot of money. It's not cheap to create this streaming architecture. It's not cheap to have all of these computers sitting somewhere that they have to pay for and maintain.
No, it's not cheap, but at the end of the day, they should be looking at keeping the customers happy as opposed to just making all the money. Yeah. Because, you know, happy customers are customers who will be willing to spend money again.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just enamoured by this picture you sent me with a Hellgas throwing a snowball at some soldier boy.
Yeah, that was one of my that was one of my old Christmas backgrounds from work. I thought you might appreciate it. Very fitting for the time of year, especially the amount of snow I just had over the last couple of nights.
What resolution is your computer at work?
What?
That's 4x3.
What?
The picture you sent me is 4x3.
I just downloaded it.
Fine, okay. Whatever.
I just found it. That's not literally the image I used. I mean,
whatever, Trevor.
My God, Nick. You and your PC Master Race crap. So, yes. In other words, what we're saying is, it's... Wait a minute, we haven't even talked about the PS2 emulation.
Oh, no, it's just...
We've just been talking about everything else.
That's what we normally do, isn't it?
I didn't even click in. Oh my god. So, they are now...
We're professionals, I swear.
Yeah, damn straight, we've done this before. So
know what
they're
we're
actually emulating PS2 games on PS4. And this was really weird, because they didn't announce it in any way, shape or form. They barely mentioned that it was going to happen. They just released a couple of games. And it was for the whole Star Wars Battlefront crap thing. But yeah,
so people can play the new Battlefront, realise, wait, this isn't as good as the old Battlefront, go and play the old Battlefront.
Did they actually release the Battlefront as one of the games?
I have no idea, I'm just spitballing.
No, I don't think... I think the games they had, I mean, there was a pod racing game, there was, whatchamacallit, some space game, I didn't actually see which one that was, and then the Bounty Hunter game as well, the Boba Fett thing, so... Yeah, I mean, it's
Star Wars. Basically, they're trying to cash in on the
they were
release
specifically for Star Wars. Yeah.
The Force Awakens.
Yes, that and the other game, Battlefront.
Well, yeah, but that in itself is probably
Also,
releasing now in order to be
yeah.
alongside the.
Certainly reasonable to say. Yeah, the great thing is that they play it obviously at a bumped up resolution. They do have some form of kind of anti-aliasing in some cases, but they also display at a far superior frame rate than they did on the PlayStation 2. So you're actually getting a superior experience when you play these games on your PlayStation 4.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of thing you got with the PlayStation 3, the original one, the first release, the 60 gig PS3.
Oh, with the PlayStation 2, yeah.
Could play PS2 games. That bumped up all the stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that did it with actual hardware. They put hardware into it to emulate it, but it was too expensive, so they took it out.
Yep.
But the PS4, they're doing this through a firmware update, aren't they? Mm-hmm. It's just entirely software driven. So that's interesting. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, it's
because
really cool.
Emulation is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Even on your best computer, running an emulator is going to be more intensive than you would be led to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, because it's not just trying to run the game; it's trying to mimic another CPU and then run that. It's a completely whole.
It's trying to run something that was intended for it's trying to run hardware on software, basically.
Yeah, and it's great then when you see some emulation software do that right. For example, when you look at the what's it called now? Is it Dolphin, the emulator?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's Dolphin. The GameCube and WiiU emulator, which really does it right. Makes a great effort to make something that's worth playing.
I only really know about DOS boxes because that's the one that Steam uses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if ever you do want to check that out, the Dolphin emulator, it's really good, plays really well, and it does improve all of the games. It improves texture quality and things like that. So, yeah, obviously there are still some issues with quite a few games, but it's definitely worth checking out. But you do have to, your PC does have to be a heck of a lot more advanced than the Wii was.
See, that's how good PCs are. PCs are so good they can run other consoles.
Very good, Nick. Very good.
just make sure you own these consoles and the games that you deal with, because there's still a lot of copyright issues and whatnot drifting around emulators.
Oh, definitely. Make sure that you own the disc and play it in that way. I mean, don't torrent the games. Don't go on several websites that are out there and download the games for free and then play them that way, because that would be illegal and wrong. But unfortunately, these evils do exist, and if you type them into Google, you will be able to find them quite easily.
I wouldn't go so far as to say they're complete evils, because most of these games that people play on emulators are stupidly old games that should be abandonware anyway.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, and I do struggle to understand why. For example, there are multiplayer-only games that the developer shuts down, but then it also shuts down any effort to try and get them up and running again at somebody else's expense.
Even if there are still fans for it.
Yeah, I mean that's just a farce.
Yeah, like I said, emulators are a great thing because it does allow you to play old games which you might not necessarily be able to play anymore. Like I say, the one Steam uses, Steam runs games through DOSBox because, modern hardware just can't support. It's too good for these old games.
Yeah. But also, as well, check out a lot of PC kind of games are coming back now, thanks to websites like, as you've already said, Steam and Good Old Games.
Yeah, Good Old Games are good. Well, I say good. I've got a few games from there that do not work properly.
Yeah. Apparently, if you let them know, they're pretty good in terms of service.
Yeah. Oh, I might have to do that. And I've got one game called Expendable. I think on the consoles, on the PS1, it was called Millennium Soldier Expendable or something. But it's a damn good game. It's like really arcadey. But it will not work on my computer. Just refuses to. And some other games like G-Police and Incoming, I get texture issues with, where some textures are missing or see-through and stuff.
Yeah, supposedly. I mean, I've never experienced it myself, but they're meant to have some really good service out there where they will talk you through different options and kind of help you with it. So, might be worth having a chat with them if you really want to play them.
They'll probably turn around to say, put it on compatibility mode for Windows 95 or something. Tried that.
Fair enough. So anyway, I think we've exhausted that one. Do you agree?
Yes. So I'm just having a drink.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well, the PlayStation 2 game, they supposedly some of the textures are slightly better in some games, some of them they're not. Some of the frame rates are far better, some of them they're about the same. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag at the moment, but it's probably good signs.
It's probably a case of these games were designed a certain way on the disc, and then the PS2 was only able to run them to a certain level.
Yeah,
but
with textures.
The emulation is just playing it at the maximum it can possibly be played.
Yeah, I mean, you find that quite often with DS games, that the actual textures that are included in the game are far superior to what the DS is actually capable of playing. So when you emulate them, they suddenly look a heck of a lot better than they did.
Or port them to PC. I know a lot of DS games that have been ported to PC, and people have said, "Oh right, they don't look too bad," and there's not been that much texture work done on them.
Yeah, I mean specifically as well on the WiiU, they've started putting DS games on there.
Yeah,
and yeah, they play really well. I'm definitely considering getting both of the Zelda games, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, because that's just the kind of guy I am. But I do keep on downloading games for that console and not playing them, so we'll see. Anyway,
I can hear a strange knocking in my house.
That's weird. I mean, is it on your house or is it at your door? Because they are two different things, and one of them is a heck of a lot scarier than the other.
I think it's next door doing something.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I just could hear this knocking through my headphones. I was like, what the hell is that? That's weird.
Yeah, maybe it's Satan.
Anyway, speaking of scary things coming to get me, let's talk about Dark Souls.
Yes, let's segue very neatly.
Segue. I want to segue. More specifically, I don't want a segue. I want one of those segues that doesn't have the stick.
I was just about to say, have you seen those things? They look awesome.
Yeah! Loads of people around there have got them.
Really?
It's Oxford.
Fair enough. People that lazy in Oxford.
No, not lazy, just more wealthy, it seems.
I think it comes underneath the umbrella term of lazy.
People need to get to work, fast.
Sorry, so rather than just walking quickly, they instead use these things.
I don't know. I can't justify why people would want them. I want one because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't exactly look cool seeing people on it, but I can imagine using one's fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely. And they're not that expensive either.
About £200, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just on Amazon at the moment, £250, so I can get one for quite happily. Yeah. I mean, as to whether it would be the best one out there,
you can get one of these for cheaper than you can get a next-gen console.
Yes, yeah. You certainly can.
To be fair, the consoles are coming down in price. I've seen. I can probably get a PS4 for 250 quid, maybe, with a few games.
With a few games? As in second hand? Or?
Oh, yeah, second hand, definitely.
Yeah, fair enough. Because you can get a... what's that console called? An Xbox One for 250 quid at the moment with a game.
Yeah.
That's new.
What game is it? FIFA?
It most certainly is FIFA.
Yeah, that's because FIFA ain't worth shit.
Whoa. That's a bit
Football
much.
fans, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, I don't like football.
Have you heard the rumour that... what's that game called? PES, Pro Evo, Pro Evolution Soccer, is going to be free to play.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's no talk about whether that's going to be... I assume it's going to be a mobile version, but there's no definite indication that that's the case.
Oh, free to play like the new Dungeon Keeper was free to play.
I never played that. What happened with that thing? Because I
Neither
did
have
like the
but you
older Dungeon Keeper games. They were right.
Well, that's the point. Everybody liked the older Dungeon Keeper games.
Oh,
Nobody likes
no.
the new one.
I'm thinking about a different game. But yes, I understand what you mean with Dungeon Keeper. Yes, that was shocking.
Yeah, no, the one on the mobile. There is a new pseudo Dungeon Keeper game that's being made, or has been made, or is in early access or something, that apparently is like a good modern version of the original Dungeon Keeper, but it's not called Dungeon Keeper. It's just kind of like a successor to it made by somebody else. It's like a love letter to the original.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I can't remember what it's called. Hang on.
Very good. So we were all on tenterhooks to find out what this was going to be. Yeah, Pro Evolution Soccer 16
War for the
is going
Overworld.
free to play, apparently. Sorry. What did you say?
I apologize. War for the Overworld.
Very good.
That's what it's called.
Fair
So
enough.
if you like your Dungeon Keeper games and want a new version, go and get this game.
Yeah, it's better than... Was it EA that bought that out in the end? I think it was EA.
What, the Dungeon Keeper on mobiles?
Yeah.
Of course it was for EA.
Whoa, that's a bit much.
Not really.
It could be so many big companies nowadays.
Oh, nowadays, yeah, but as it was actually EA.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so apparently, and it's a bit of a rumour at the moment, Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 is going free to play. I would assume that it would be either mobile or Asian markets, because that's how this thing works, but still, fuck Konami. Unless it's going to be like a subscription thing, in which case, yay, go ahead Konami, because that makes far more sense for these football games, as we have discussed previously.
You always have to slip that in there somewhere, don't you? Fuck Konami.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable nowadays.
Shall we make a meme? Shall we make a meme where it's just Marty's face and fuck Konami?
Is this memes?
What?
I think it's memes. So, Dark Souls 3.
Meme myself.
Hey, I'm segueing. I segued with you.
I segued 20 minutes ago.
I know, I'm re-segueing. Which I think is now a term.
No.
It could be a term. So, Dark Souls 3.
Might be the last Dark Souls. Probably will be the last Dark Souls.
Okay,
But
why is
not
that,
actually
Nick?
Dark Souls style game. Because, you know, you can't just say Dark Souls anymore because, you know, Bloodborne and stuff.
Bloodborne.
What?
Just
Blood-
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Yes, so, yeah, I don't think that's too bad a thing. I quite like there to be more Bloodborne style games, in that they take the Dark Souls formula and change it up
Yeah.
in such a way that, you know, creates a new and interesting alternative universe.
But I appreciate the fact that they've been doing the Souls games for a while now, and they've gotten really good at it. And I think they've reached their pinnacle with like, well, they changed it up with Bloodborne, and I think they're taking across what they've learned from Bloodborne into Dark Souls. So Dark Souls 3 is going to be the pinnacle of the original Dark Souls format. You know, hacky slashy kind of thing like that. Because Bloodborne, you had guns and stuff, didn't you?
You did, yeah.
And I think they're kind of like saying, okay, yeah, we've perfected this. We don't want to do any more of this. We can't really do any more of this. Let's move on. Which I think a lot of developers could take heed from.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've got something down, don't release the same thing over and over and over again every year.
Mm-hmm.
Activision, Ubisoft, whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I mean, it should be noted that Dark Souls and Bloodborne are actually made by different teams altogether. So it's not like, you know, it's specifically made by the same people. They are made by completely different teams, completely different team members supposedly.
Well, yeah, but it's
I mean, it's definitely still along the same lines. I completely get that, but
yeah, they're still gonna like get ideas from each other and learn lessons, and just basically it's part of the same spirit of it.
yeah,
I think that's what
Demon Souls was.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. Like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 to 3, and Bloodborne. You could call them all Souls games, and that's what they are bringing to an end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to say here.
Yeah, that makes me sad. It was an interest. It's one of the few really interesting new IPs to go out in the last few years.
But I think that's what they're concerned about, because yeah, it was a new IP and it was a new idea. It was brilliant, but it's not anymore.
Yep.
Because there have been 5 of these games now, including Dark Souls 3.
Yep, that's fair enough.
So I think they're going with that idea, like, yeah, it was a new IP, but we want to do something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which it's fair enough. I just hope that they don't completely close the door on it. That they do leave it open to come back to in a few years. You know, don't call it an Assassin's Creed, but you know, come back to it when you're ready, and yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that we're just talking about the From Software games. There have been other games that have taken heed from Software,
yep.
And you know, the future of this genre of games might lie somewhere else. I mean, you had Lords of the Fallen that was made. Yeah, it was admittedly not great, but there are other developers giving this a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if From Software want to go on and do something else, then that's fair enough, because you know, someone else might go and pick up the idea and innovate away. That's how I've noticed things seem to work. One company innovates, and then iterates for a while, and might not stop iterating. They have to know when to stop, because after that point, the technological advances seem to be elsewhere. Like, the better things coming out. Take like Apple, for instance. They innovated when they first brought out the iPhone. And since then, the iPhone hasn't changed a great amount. They've just got kind of like better hardware, different software in it. Whereas all the innovation has been done by different companies. And I think that's a similar approach to what's going to happen with the Souls genre of game.
Yeah, maybe so. Only time will tell with this sort of thing, won't it, really? But I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to seeing what happens, and I certainly hope that other developers do create something along these lines, but hopefully not too iterative.
Yeah. At least we're going to have Dark Souls 3, though. That's the first time I saw this. I just saw them basically say, like, oh yeah, we don't want to do Souls games anymore, and I was slightly worried that they were going to cancel Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And then I read it, I was like, oh, thank God, no, they're not. Good.
Yeah. Interesting again, because Dark Souls, they did a network test beta, and apparently that was a little mixed. Not everybody was happy with what they saw.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed that doesn't put them off too much.
Or maybe it's because it was slightly different. And, you know, From Software seem like they want to try different things. I mean, yeah, you've had, like, from Demon Souls to Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. They all look more or less the same. But Demon Souls did things in a different way. It was almost like a test for what would become Dark Souls. And then it was a different team, but they tried Bloodborne. And they might be trying to shake things up, but they've decided no more Souls games because they realised we can't shake things up anymore.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that Bloodborne was made by the same team that made Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2 was the black sheep of the family, made by a new team.
That's true, and a lot of people actually like Dark Souls 2 a lot.
But
a lot of people didn't like it because it was just... There wasn't as much horror-type imagery in it, as far as I'm aware.
Bloodborne did quite nicely.
No, Bloodborne's like... Everything's fucked up. Except everything looks diseased and nasty and...
Yeah, it really is amazing how that game just spans so many different genres of terror.
Yeah, but I do want to play Bloodborne. No, it's the second game on the PS4 I actually want to play.
What was the first?
Infamous Second Son.
Fair enough.
Because I love the Infamous games on the PS3.
Well, after you've spent 3 hours playing through that game, you can then play Bloodborne.
Yeah, I've heard it's not massively long. So yeah, 3 hours on that one, 300 hours on Bloodborne. So.
Yes, definitely. If you want to try and get everything on there, it is just ridiculous. Anyway,
I'm ashamed. Speaking of times on games, I'm ashamed of how long I've spent on Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And not for the reason you would think.
Oh, fair enough. Not being able to play on it as much as you'd like. Or...
No, I've only racked up about 16 hours.
Fair enough. That hasn't increased much from last week, has it?
Not a great deal, no.
Not that I'm stalking your playtimes, but
I've been very, very busy. I have a job.
18.4 hours.
Say again.
18.4 hours.
Is that 18.4 hours?
It most certainly is.
Oh, my save state says it's only 16.
Maybe that might be the difference between gameplay and just keeping on pause and different things like that.
That's true, yeah.
Maybe it differentiates.
I do wander off sometimes.
Yep. Which is why I've got hundreds of hours in Peggle.
It's just, no, it isn't. You've got hundreds of hours in Peggle because you actually have hundreds of hours in Peggle.
I mean, granted, I've completed it more than once, but I definitely haven't played it that many hours.
You ever played the Peggle mobile game?
Yes.
Peggle Blast, is it?
Oh, no then. I played the original Peggle on mobile.
No, they actually got a mobile Peggle, and it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, isn't it a kind of free-to-play type thing?
Yeah.
So, microtransactions, that sort of malarkey.
Well, you don't have to have microtransactions.
Fair enough. Okay, and on that bombshell, shall we talk about Steam and the fact that this year they...
Wait, I want to go back. I want to go back to Dark Souls.
Oh, fine then. What do you want to say?
No, I've just read something that I did not know.
Okay.
And that's fucking fantastic. The roots of my fantasy ideas are in Sorcery by Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson, the adventure game books. That's brilliant! I love those books. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. I'm happy about that. I really love those old adventure game books.
Yeah,
I've got like 30 or 40 of them or something. I haven't got them all, but I'd like to have them all.
Nice. I had Mario Brothers versions of those books.
What?
I had like three books.
Yeah. Have you ever read any of the adventure game books?
No.
Oh, you should. Start with Demons of the Deep. That's the one I started with. In primary school, I went and got it from I don't know why primary school had this book in the library. Mm-hmm. But it did. And I read it about, I don't know, a dozen times.
Fair enough.
I just love it. I just love those books.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll have a look at it at some point. Do you want to talk about Steam?
Moving on, yes. Steam is not doing flash sales in its autumn and winter sales, which is weird.
Yeah, it is pretty weird, but also relatively understandable.
Well, I've noticed the Steam sales have got kind of progressively... You can't really say worse as in bad. They've got progressively not as deep discounts anymore. I mean, when I first started buying off Steam sales, the sales were ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I mean stupidly so.
Yeah.
But over the past few years, I've noticed that they've become more reasonable. You know, you don't get like 90% off a game that's just come out anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're certainly not as favourable as they used to be.
But then again, we've got most of the games now.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one issue. And also the fact that there are just so many games on Steam now, and they all go on sale at the same time. It can make it kind of impossible to find those gems that that may not be at the forefront of your mind, but you would definitely like to play, and probably would purchase if you saw that they were on sale. But when you've got 1,000 games on sale all at once, you might gloss over them.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult, because there's so much shovelware on Steam now. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's scary, and it's definitely degrading. But still, that's not this conversation. So, Steam is no longer flashing. My guess at the reasoning for this is because of the Steam refunds that they now have in place. And if you've just bought a game that was on sale and then suddenly it goes on a flash sale for 10% less,
yes,
you would
that's
then
a very good
refund
point.
and then try and purchase it again.
That's actually a good point. I hadn't thought of that angle.
That's my guess as to why they're going down this route, because they don't want that massive influx of customer service that they would have
because
to do.
From before, you were always like, "Oh, it's on sale, but will it go on Flash?" And you never really bought a game on the Steam sales until like the last day when you were sure that it wasn't going to go on the Flash sale.
Yeah. And there was always that degree of risk, and you just took that risk as and when you needed to.
Yeah, now with the refunds, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, buy. Oh, it's on Flash sale now, refund." But there's no guarantee that you will get a refund. You'd just end up pissing off Valve because you get like a shit ton of, customer service going through. Yeah,
and I mean, Valve notoriously are not that bothered about customer service anyway. So the amount of additional tickets that would suddenly create, I think it's reasonable that they would try and stave away from that. But it does mean that, I can't decide whether this means that, okay, games will instead just be be better value right from the start, or whether they will instead, go closer to the price that they may have otherwise set just for the start of the sale, and they will never have something that's quite as good value as they would have otherwise had on a lightning sale.
Of course, they might go a completely different way that we can't predict, because, if Valve can do anything, it's surprise us.
Yeah, true. I suppose they might come up with a different way of doing it altogether.
Yeah. I'm expecting that.
Yeah, I can't quite understand why they don't just say, well, if you purchase something on a lightning in the
no
Steam
refunds.
sale, there's no refund in the same way that there would otherwise have been, unless there's a technical issue.
Maybe, yeah.
But then people would just say there's a technical issue. So, yeah, maybe.
400,000 emails with calls with technical issue. Oh my god, help me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, it's a shame, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how these Steam sales continue to evolve.
Yeah. When Steam sale runs from the 22nd of December. No, sorry, hang on. I'll start again. The autumn sale runs from the 25th of November to the 1st of December, and the winter sale runs from the 22nd of December to the 4th of January. So there.
Late for the autumn sale this year, isn't it? I feel like
why not just start a little bit later and just have a December sale, just all through December or something?
Yeah, a bit weird. But is that going to try and coincide with the Black Friday absolute terror that we have? It sounds like that's coinciding.
It is actually, because Black Friday's on the 27th, is it?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I hate the fact that Black Friday's become a thing over here now, because Black Friday was always like, oh yeah, look at the Americans, they're having Black Friday, there's like chaos in the streets. But now it's come over here. Last year, bloody hell, people were fighting in Tesco.
Yeah, I completely agree. I used to enjoy the fact that I could point and laugh at the Americans. Now I just sit with my hand on my forehead, absolutely ashamed at the fact that these are my British brethren.
I mean, the discounts aren't even that deep. It'd be like 10% off a TV. It's like, you can get vouchers for that.
Yeah, and apparently a heck of a lot of people end up bringing these things back as well afterwards.
Yeah, because they get caught up in the emotion and the oh my god, it's an event! Oh my god! And they just shouldn't. I mean, why? The fact that there's digital Black Friday as well. I mean, if you go on last year for a laugh during Black Friday, I actually went on the PC World website just to see how little the discounts were, and I had to sit in a queue online. I don't think there was actually so many people on that it needed this virtual queue. I just think they put it in place to big up the thing, to get people excited about, oh, look, this must be really, really good. And then, you know.
Yeah, maybe so. But to be fair, this does apparently put a massive strain on the architecture of these websites nowadays.
No, I appreciate if there was lots and lots of people on there, it put a big strain on, but I don't think there was a lot of people on there.
Yeah,
I might just I just might be being cynical.
I mean, that is regularly the case. You are an extraordinarily cynical man.
Yeah, well, at least I'm never disappointed by anything.
I don't know. You're often disappointed by your own cynicism. But
yes.
I just apparently found out that you can get a PlayStation 4 with the Uncharted collection for £250 at the moment.
Fucking A.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Where's that from?
That is from the German version of Amazon.
Amazon.de.
Exactly that, yes.
I don't think they ship here.
Nick, I know that it's really unprofessional, but I'm going to have to just stop there for a second.
Okay.
While I go to the loo. Welcome back.
Hello!
Hi, I just powdered my anus, and I'm minty fresh.
Do we need to know that?
I don't know. I'm just telling people what they want to know.
That's disturbing.
That's everything about the Meister General.
You unprofessional person, you.
How is that unprofessional? I didn't
You're talking
say
about
something
your ass.
about PC and it not recording. That's unprofessional. If IGN talked about their anuses all the time, God, would I be on that shit.
Well, they don't talk about their anuses, they just talk out of them.
Whoa. That's some damn good satire right there.
Yeah!
Okay, so, last thing we're talking about is the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth.
Binding of Isaac.
Now,
that's a new theme.
Okay. Very good. Now, whatchamacallit? Nick, you have played the Binding of Isaac on Rational Gamers.
I've played the original Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb. I haven't actually got Rebirth or Afterbirth though, but I would like them. Even though the Binding of Isaac is messed up. I find myself thinking back to it and thinking, I would like to play that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's somehow kind of addictive.
Yep. It's a pretty good game from what I played of it. I absolutely suck at it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I made a Hulk baby.
What?
I made a Hulk baby.
I don't want to know what you do in your spare time, Nick.
Now, on the Binding of Isaac, watch the video, damn it!
If you have a Hulk toy that you like to get freaky with, that's up to you. Okay. However you get off powdering your anus, that's up to you. But
you are a disturbing human being I no longer want to associate with you. No, in the Binding of Isaac, I picked up the upgrades that made him like angry looking with a little fur in his forehead, and then another pickup that made him green.
Cool.
I made a Hulk baby. He looked like Hulk. He's just plowing for everything. It's fantastic.
Cool, yeah.
Until he died, that is.
Yeah. But I believe that is part of the issue that we're going to talk about. Because the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is apparently running into difficulties on the WiiU, 3DS, and PlayStation Vita. Now, according to the Twitter feed of Tyrone Rodriguez, in other news, evaluating Afterbirth for Wii U, new 3DS, and PS Vita. Not running at a performance level I'm happy with it. Outlook, not good. Not is in capital letters, so that really nails that home.
Really kind of hammered it home, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, it looks like they may well not be on the game. maybe not be on those consoles.
Both The Binding of Isaac and Rebirth had a weird architecture they were built on. I mean, the first one was ostensibly a Flash game, basically. Also, I'm aware, anyway. And then Rebirth was basically built from the ground up on a new engine. But they were still experiencing issues with it. And so it doesn't really surprise me that Afterbirth is still experiencing some of these issues. And I notice it's on everything that has a different build. You know, the Wii U is something completely different. The 3DS, again, something completely different. And the PS Vita. But if it wasn't having problems on the Wii U, I'd think it was just something isolated to mobile platforms. So I don't know, mate. Does the Wii U have anything in common with mobile platforms, do you know?
I think the only real thing that it has in common with them is that it's not that powerful. It is
That might just be it then.
as powerful as the last-gen consoles, really, if we're talking about it generally. So
the Binding of Isaac, it turns out, it's more kind of intensive than you would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, the thing that's really kind of bogging the consoles down in all likelihood the kind of multiplications of different things. You can get a heck of a lot of items all reacting all at once. When you start to kind of build up these different combinations of weapons and so on.
This is having all the combinations of everything, plus the procedural nature of having a roguelite and everything. It just becomes a bit too much. Basically, it's trying to remember 1,000 things at once.
Yeah, and trying to then display those 1,000 things all at once. I mean, it can be a very intensive game, and chances are the architecture, it hasn't changed a massive amount from when it was first brought out. So chances are, it wasn't really built with that much foresight, in that they would carry on the game as long as they have as many combinations as they have.
They probably didn't think it would become that much of a hit and everything. They thought like, oh, just put out this PC game. Oh, look, the PC game's become quite popular. We'll rebuild it. Oh, look, it's become wildly popular. We need it to make it for consoles now. Oh shit, we can't make it for these particular ones.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, the original games have been playable on those consoles. Which I think is part of the reason why most people are upset about this.
But I think Afterbirth added a ton of stuff. I mean, from what I've seen, a ridiculous amount. It's basically another game on top of it.
Yeah, I haven't played it, haven't seen much about it, but as I understand it, it's really changed the game quite a lot and added a heck of a lot of new stuff, which is always nice. But a lot of people that liked Binding of Isaac really enjoyed it, in particular on the PS Vita.
I've not played it on the PS Vita, but I imagine it would be really quite good to play it on that particular console.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it would work really well.
Yeah, I have played it on the PS Vita and really enjoyed it on there because the console's just so well suited for that sort of game.
Yeah, it's not. They try to peg it as kind of like a more hardcore portable gaming device where you can play big games on it. But it still is suited to these fun little games like Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, Rayman, stuff like that.
Because a lot of these games, they're made in such a way that ideally you'd just pick them up and play them.
Yeah.
Which, it's absolutely perfect for something like the Vita, where you can then take that with you and play it wherever you want.
I mean, that's the main reason I haven't played much more Binding of Isaac, because it's one of those games where it's like, I want to play it. I'll play it for a couple of minutes and then probably like, okay, I'm done playing with it now.
Yeah, so imagine that you had that when you were just on the bus on the way home.
Yeah, no, that would be good. I wouldn't be able to play it because I get travel sick, but
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Theoretically, it would work lovely. God, if I didn't get travel sick, I'd get so much more than I could catch up on so much reading.
Yep, if only.
If only.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly the same reason why it would be great to have on the 3DS and the Wii U to a lesser extent, because then you'd just be able to play it around the house.
Yeah, I mean, the Wii U is practically the tablet. It's practically a portable device. So it's like yeah, come up to you. Oh, I watch TV. Okay, I'll go and play Binding of Isaac in a different room.
Yep, pretty much, or the same room.
Oh, in the same
The
room, but you
choice
might get
is
yelled at.
yours.
Stop playing that. Watch TV. I want to watch TV. Watch Gogglebox. Watch people watching TV. I hate that show.
I have not seen it, and for good reason.
We just after watching like The Big Bang Theory, we just leave it on, the TV that is, for background noise, and then it comes on. I'm like, oh for my god, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, that poor.
Yeah, it's just literally watching people watching TV.
Yeah, I struggle with that. But it could be one of those things that that some people just get. I know I always quite enjoyed the early Big Brother, which I'm guessing you hated.
I hate all the Big Brothers.
There you go. Yeah, and it's just because I got into it. So
Is this the TV equivalent of people doing Let's Plays, though?
I suppose so, maybe to an extent.
Just there's one difference. One major difference. You watch someone play a Let's Play, they will play it different to you. You watch them to see how people play them differently. Plus, you watch them for the personality of the person more than anything. The commentary they put over, how they react to things. You watch people watching TV. What?
All of this could be said about Big Brother, to be fair.
And I'm talking about Gogglebox now. The people, it's just like a couple of people just sat in chairs going, oh, yes. Okay. Boring.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it. Not going to lie. Never gonna step into that territory. But people out there are allowed to watch whatever the hell they want, and I am also allowed to judge them.
I'm not allowed to judge them, but
why are you not allowed to judge them?
Because I feel bad about judging people.
That doesn't mean you can't. God. It's a freeing aspect of life, the fact that you can judge people. You don't necessarily need to tell them about how you're judging them. You don't need to explain your judgments. But
when I start to judge other people, I start judging myself, and then I get sad because I'm so very cynical.
That's fine as well.
Anyway, on that note, I think we've run out of time.
Yep, but not run out of salt.
So, no, we've got plenty of salt. That's why I always pick the sarcastic option in Fallout 4. Ha ha ha!
Oh, did you know? Have you seen about the I can't think of the word.
Well, I can't help you with that.
It's not a ROM. It's a for Fallout 4.
Oh, the cartridge of Fallout 4.
No.
Oh, never mind then.
It's not the hack, the mod. Oh, thank God. They've created a mod for Fallout 4 which replaces the 4 options with the actual text instead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? No? Don't miss that.
No.
Oh.
I'm not fussed by that because I like the Mass Effect style. This is the general meaning of what you want to say, and then being surprised by what they say. Like I say, you just pick sarcastic and they come out with a genius line, and you have a laugh.
Oh, see, I playing The Witcher 3. It has a similar idea in there, and just every now and again you'll pick something that seems quite reasonable.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
that is.
Suddenly you'll call him a prick and kick him in the teeth.
Yeah.
Think, what on earth have I done? That wasn't what I meant.
Yeah, it's quite annoying. I will admit that when it's quite annoying when you're like somebody says something and it's got like an option like dispute, and you're just like, yeah, I'll casually dispute them. You fucking liar, bastard! Ah! And then they shoot you.
Whoa, that escalated quickly. On that note, I don't know. I think people liked the anus line. I mean, we'll see, but I'm 99% sure that the anus line will go down well.
See you next time, guys.
See you guys. Bye.